Hello, ghouls and ghoulies. Welcome to Scary and Bizarre Short Stories. I'm your host, Larry Lee Roten. This story is a devilish tale of a relationship that was surprisingly good. And I mean, real good. This scary story is called Chef Roberts. I started dating Robert 3 months ago. He was handsome, caring, and entertaining. His charm was undeniable, and his laughter was infectious. Every moment I spent with him felt like a new adventure, filled with warmth and joy. I admired his kindness to the homeless. His compassion was most evident in his dedication to helping them, taking them off the streets and providing them with food and shelter until they were able to move on with their lives. It was impossible to tell how many lives he had touched. Robert owned a small restaurant in the ritzy part of town. The place was always buzzing with life. I don't think I have ever seen it when it wasn't bustling. People loved his food, and it was easy to see why. The delicious aromas coming from the kitchen were enough to draw anyone in, and the menu was a delightful mix of classic comfort food with an innovative twist. I decided to move in with him last week, and things were going just great. This was the happiest relationship I'd had in some time, and I was thankful. I arrived home earlier than usual one evening, and as I stepped into the kitchen, I was met with an unexpected sight. Robert was there, intently cutting up some meat on the counter. His expression shifted from surprise to a warm smile when he noticed me. I needed more meat for the restaurant, he explained casually, gesturing towards the pieces he was slicing. He had two large freezers in the garage and used those to store extra meat for his business. I never saw him putting meat into the freezers, but they were always full. I didn't think any more of it. I knew how much he loved his restaurant, and he always thought of his customers. I'd heard him repeatedly telling them he only used the best parts of the meat. I showered and returned to the kitchen. I started to remove some trash from the counter when a human hand fell to the floor. It had been severed at the wrist and wrapped in newspaper. Not believing what I was seeing, I glanced at Robert. He smiled. Don't worry about that, Marie. There's no meat on the fingers. I shook in horror. He picked up the butcher's knife and turned toward me, flashing a grin. However, I still need more meat. I hope you enjoyed this story. I've eaten at this restaurant many times in the past. However, I've always wondered how Chef Roberts could make his meat so tender. Now I know. But don't worry, I'm never eating there again. I really need to watch my cholesterol. I hope you enjoyed this scary and bizarre short story. If you would, please subscribe and give this story a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. As always, thank you for visiting my channel.